Everyone's talking about neural networks, how they learn, how they think, how they hallucinate, how they're beginning to outperform humans in certain tasks. But here's something fascinating. The inspiration for these AI systems didn't come from computer science. It came from your brain. And even though neural networks and human neurons evolved in completely different worlds, they are more similar and more different than most people realize. Today on A4 Digest, we're going to explore how the human brain learns, how artificial neural networks learn, where they overlap, where they diverge, and what this means for academics, athletes, and all of us navigating an AI-shaped future. The story of intelligence, biological or artificial, is always a story about learning. So, where did neural networks actually come from? Neural networks did not emerge from Silicon Valley. Their origin story begins in neuroscience labs. Early researchers in the 1940s and 50s asked a simple yet profound question. What if we could teach machines to learn the way the brain does, through connections, patterns, and experience? They created mathematical models loosely inspired by neurons, nodes, layers, weights, activations, a primitive abstraction of how actual neurons fire, adapt, and recognize. But since then, artificial neural networks have evolved far faster than we expected. And now, in 2026, we're not just comparing brains in AI, we're learning from their differences. Same, but very different. So how does the human brain learn? In terms of adaptation and emotion and embodiment, the human brain is messy and magnificent all at the same time. Human learning is shaped by emotion, memory, embodiment, experience, motivation, reward, context, story, and culture. A single memory involves thousands of distributed neural circuits firing in synchrony. Learning is not just computational, it's lived. The brain rewires itself continuously through plasticity, the ability to grow, prune, strengthen, reorganize, and transform connections based on experience. This is why athletes improve decision-making through repetition. Academics improve thinking through reflection. Children learn languages effortlessly. Trauma can reshape cognition. Purpose enhances memory. Learning in humans is not an algorithm. It is an embodied, emotional, chemical, electrical, social experience. It is intelligence with a pulse. And now, how do neural networks learn in terms of data and patterns and optimization? Neural networks, in contrast, are ruthlessly efficient. They learn through massive datasets, pattern recognition, weight adjustments, gradient descent, reinforcement cycles, no emotion, no culture, no embodiment, no lived memory. They learn by optimizing mathematical functions. That's it. This is why AI models can outperform humans at prediction, classification, generation, pattern spotting, all because they don't get tired, bored, emotional, conflicted, or self-conscious. But here's what they don't do. They don't understand. They don't feel. They don't assign meaning. They don't create purpose. They don't have experience. They simulate intelligence, but they do not possess consciousness. Same, but very, very different. So, where do brains outperform machines? There are things humans do that neural networks simply cannot. Embodiment, which is movement and cognition that are linked. Athletes are proof of this. Secondly, emotion. Emotion shapes learning memory, motivation, and decision-making. 3. Creativity from lived experience. AI can remix, but humans can originate meaning. 4. Context. AI reads words, humans read situations. And then we have ethics. AI has rules. Humans have values. These gaps are not weaknesses. They are humanity's competitive advantage. So, what can athletes teach us about real intelligence? Athletes demonstrate that the brain is not in your head, it is in your body too. Decision-making in sport happens in milliseconds. Motion, embodied reaction, sensory integration. No neural network can replicate the lived, physical, emotional intelligence of an elite athlete in the arena. Machine learning is stats-driven. Human learning is experiential. Athletes prove that intelligence is not just information, it is intuition shaped through repetition and embodiment. Same, but profoundly different. What does academia misunderstand about AI? Academia often swings between two extremes. AI will replace us or AI will never match us. Both are wrong. AI will replace academics who rely on memorization, information transfer, formula-based writing, routine analysis. AI will not replace academics who excel in interpretation, conceptual and critical thinking, ethics, synthesis, mentorship, multidisciplinary insight. AI threatens knowledge, but amplifies wisdom. So let's look at the altruistic brain versus the optimizing machine. The biggest difference between neural networks and human brains is altruism. Humans can act with compassion, sacrifice, meaning, moral purpose, curiosity, love, faith, hope. AI at this stage cannot. AI is a tool of intelligence. Humans are carriers of conscience. Neural networks pushes the mind. Human networks pushes the soul. So, in closing, neural networks learn quickly. The human brain learns deeply. Neural networks compute. The human brain connects. Neural networks are optimizers. The human brain is a meaning maker. Same inspiration, different universe. And the future will belong to those who understand both systems, the intelligence of machines and the intelligence of being human. Until next time.